to you all. It's very difficult whenever SVB initiates something. He has already given a convocation address. What is expected from you and what is happening in the world, what can be the future. Under this circumstance, it is very difficult. I am tongue-tied to say a few words to you. Nevertheless, I am coming from agriculture family. Today, everybody talks about farmer. Starting from politician to academicians, everybody expects something from farmer. But please remember, this is the single community which changed the world arena in India. When we got the independence with a 33 crore population, we were always having the begging bowl to get PL 480 wheat or anything was given by the Westerners. But a single soul from this soil, Dr. C. Subramaniam, went, saw things and brought few grains in his pocket and he gave to agriculture scientists, please do something. We introduced dwarfness in the plant and we enhanced the yield potential and we were the first in the whole world to take the green revolution to fruition. Because of that, today you are getting 263 million tons of wheat, rice and grains to feed 128 crore population. Continuously from independence to this day, 67 years, we never had any additional import of grain. That was the success story. It has come from the toiling farmers with a simple technology and with the cooperation of academicians. Why I am saying this one? We expect a similar change in engineering because I will give you a small glimpse based on which you can infer where we are failing. Say for example, Indians, especially Tamilians, were the first one to observe a dried wood can float on water based on density. Whenever you pour oil, whenever you put something, it will always float on the water. Having realized that one, he invented the coir. He connected the floating planks and he used it as catamaran, catamaran. It is recorded throughout the world. So the catamaran transformed into vessels. Thus the Tamilians were the first one to move around and do the business. What was the business they were doing? It was the textile business. By the time when we were moving around, people were interested to come to India to learn how these fellows are so better in mathematics and science. Of the 4 Nobel laureates in physics, 3 are from India. One before independence, Dr. C.V. Raman. Another after independence, we pushed him to America, Dr. Chandrasekhar. And the third one, we pushed him to Canada, America, and then England, the Ramke, Venki Ramke. So all the 3 were from India, all from Tamil Nadu. But what prevents you? Such a blood, such a gene is running in your blood. And we never realized to make money out of our inventions. This is the missing point. I will tell you one more history. The West, we have a Nobel Prize winner from West Bengal. But in the same soil, there was a person called Bose. He was the first one to identify and report the radio waves. But Marconi recorded it. He made it as instrument. We are still purchasing the telephones and all other things. Why it is happening? Because we go to the level, but we are not finishing the touching line. This is more important. We have developed a very good race horse, race animal, and fighting cock. All these things go for a finishing line. But sixth sense human being, we have failed to take it to the finishing line. I sincerely request our youngsters, you please make use of that one and make an attempt to innovate and cash on things. Today we are good in software, but we are so poor in hardware. What failed in this country to go for hardware? We are still purchasing everything. The normal pen drive what you are using is emitting all the messages to China. Whatever BSNL data card what you are using is always conveying everything to China, what is happening in India. This is the way all our informations are trapped and conveyed to other countries. In those days, we had Pisrandayar. We had some of our own Silappadiharam, Pisrandayar, Natpu, everything is all recorded. But it is always telepathy. The telepathy is known to us, but we have not cashed on the things. So I sincerely request you, please invest your brain, make use of the system, and go for innovation and get the profitability of that one. Making money is most important today. That is the reason why you and I have come to this level. Why the degree is only to earn money. And a best placement is the most important thing. Everybody thinks that all the graduates produced in India are not employable. No academic institution can produce a graduate for employment. Please realize, anybody who is commenting, even our own Bharat Ratna, he says that we are not producing graduates industrial ready. We cannot produce a graduate industrial because our requirements are varying. Whereas academic institutions can produce knowledgeable, skilled, empowered individual. These three things can always help us to get into any position and contribute. Please realize, all our youngsters after graduation from this country, they move abroad. What is that they are doing? Today the best scientists in the NASA are 60% Indians. You take the top ranking income generating companies. Out of the 20 companies, 12 companies are headed by Indians. Where from the knowledge came? It's all from the basics of our institutions. In the process of education, we forgot our own positive things. First, Gurukulam we missed. And Samanas introduced the Palli. That means they derived some energy. That energy was dissipated through discussion. Discussion was the most important thing. Today, America uses that one. Even in your institution, they are using it. I do remember when I came here some 16 or 17 years back, after 4 visits, how this institute has been transformed. I sincerely congratulate on your behalf and our behalf Dr. SVB for investing so much of infrastructure and providing so much of knowledge delivery system, and small things are missing here and there. Whenever you prepare a chain, networking is required. Individuals can blossom. That is the history of India. That's the reason why we have used our 3 mudras to elevate individual. But we don't know how to live as a combined family. We are disintegrating. As long as we lived as a combined family, we excelled in everything. The day we prepare a meal and serve in 4 courses. One for the family, one for the mother, one for the husband. So no one sits on the dining table. Everybody comes individually. Everybody runs in the morning. The gent leaves, then the wife also leaves for the work, then the kids leave for the college or the school. Everybody leaves in the morning in different time. But the food prepared is the same. The container is different. With a water bottle we have to run. Such a system gives no time to interact, no time to communicate. Without communication we cannot flourish. And you are always bound with laptop or tablet today. Tomorrow something will come. The cell phone with all the other things, you are always glued to those things. I could see whether in the airport or railway station and other things, we always shake hand. Immediately he goes to the phone. And whether left ear is bent or right ear is bent, nobody knows what he is doing. He takes a seat and he forgets to say bye-bye to his own friend when he lands. This is a way in which we are growing. This should be avoided because you know how cloud computing is coming in, how complex systems are deciphered. I will give you one simple example where our Samadhanam is associated. We have an open source drug discovery in this country. With the assistance of CSIR, today 5,800 scientists are involved, 130 universities are involved, 37 countries are involved to go for, and the success story is always positive. You know, tuberculosis is a major problem, diabetics is a major problem. For these 2 things, we have the drug today in our hand. to control these things. It has not come from the antibiotics or the Western medicine. It has come from Ayurveda and Siddha, and we have the Ayush to deliver such things. So I sincerely request you, we have the gene in your blood. At the same time, you have the enthusiasm in your system, and you know what is the information that is available in the globe. What is missing is just like a goldsmith. Please connect the informations. Bring it as a very good ornament what you wear, or a chain what you wear in your neck. So that capacity is within us, and you need not search from outside. And where we have missed, I will give you one more example. I started with that one. See, when Westerners were using mostly animal skin for wearing and protecting themselves with metals, and metallurgy was our birthright. So in Silappadigaram it is all recorded. Udavarode, Madahode, it's all recorded. What is it? You might have also heard, those who are coming from village and those who are sitting on the dais, definitely they would have heard, Ahala uduvadai vida aala udu. So instead of spreading the things, you have a deeper knowledge. So for that, a wood cannot do it. So always they used a small kolu. That kolu was the first invention of Tamilians. When? It was before 2 BC. With such a gene in your blood, definitely we can win over the race. What was killing us? Just because of the colonization. Before the colonization, your gross domestic product was 37% of the global GDP. But after colonization, we came down. Even after independence, we came down. We tried our level best, and we came down to 2% of the GDP. Now we are going to 8 to 10% of the GDP. Whereas, similarly, China gets only 17% of the GDP, and this China today still maintains 70% of the GDP. How they could manage? They also came down to 2%. But in the last 10 years, they focused on specialized areas. Say, for example, if it is agriculture, they produced hybrid, transgenic products, spread to 80% of the land area. Today they are excelling in the world production. Likewise, in software and hardware, you know how many computers are coming only from China. You name any product, they can produce in different categories, different values, different qualities, so that they can cater to the global requirements. So I am not requesting you to copy, because copying is not in our blood. That is the reason why we fail. When Macaulay came into India, he observed, he has traveled from length and birth. It is all recorded. That is the first report. Whenever you open the website of education, you can download the first report. He says that I traveled the length and breadth of this country, and I have observed Indians have the highest pride. They are highly elite. They have the knowledge, so they need not bend to anybody. The only best way is that we have to change the system of education and introduce language as a barrier. Then they will come down. You might have heard the history that Yegalaivan, the teachers used to give everything, but they also saw to it that the students should not excel the teacher. So they removed the thumb of the student. So these are the history. But our forefathers had the system how to circumvent. Today we cannot do anything. So they started inscribing on the temple with Brahmi letters. The Brahmi, they cannot read, we can read. By that time we had the knowledge, but today you and I cannot read, because we were always fortunate to catch the English. We have forgotten even Tamil today. And even in all our television, we get 25% Tamil and 75% other languages. That's the way we are growing. So please realize that such a system was modified based on our craze for one language. But they used it cleverly. The mathematics was ingrained in our blood. So they used mathematics as accountancy. They used us as a best clerk to collect the history and income. This is what they have done. But we are transforming ourselves from that clutches today. In a single stroke, for the past 18 years, our software system is today number one. Tamil Nadu excels first. For the past 7 months, Tamil Nadu exports the highest software in the country. So there is something in us and there is a possibility. Please try to realize that things can be done, and that system